Hello, Ralph Davella back for the legendary Carmine Caruso trumpet lesson number 4. In lesson number 4, I would like to introduce the Clarke book. Let me show you the Clarke book. This is the Clarke Technical Study book. It comes with a yellow cover, but my cover has been lost through the years. So this is the book that you need to get. I guess you can order it online, wherever you need to get it. Herbert L. Clarke, Technical Studies for Trumpet. So let me open it up, and whatever he says in this book, Clarke, it's good to read because he really had it. He was right on the money on what he said. So read the introduction, and then today we're going to work on the first study. The first study is chromatics, and when we do this, it's not just a matter of playing from the beginning of the study to the end of the study. These studies set up your embouchure and will build your foundation to become a great trumpet player. This book I've been playing my whole life. So let's talk about this book. Let's get started on the Clarke book first study. Okay, the first study goes from number 1 to number 25, and but there's no reason to try to do all those in 1 week. So we're going to start with number 1 to number 6, and we're going to start out by playing eighth notes. All the same rules apply from the first video that I gave, lesson number 1, on how you breathe and how you breathe in through your nose and keep the mouthpiece on. So if you don't really know about that part, go back to number 1 and learn the rules, because how you play this is as important as the exercise itself. Okay, so let's play the first one and follow the directions, which is soft. He explains it in here why it's important to play soft. And you see these crescendos and decrescendos. It's a good thing to get in the habit of doing, because in general, when we play the trumpet, as we go higher, we generally blow a little bit more and generally crescendo a little bit. So it's a good habit to get into. So let's play this first one. We're going to do eighth notes. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so when we do this eighth notes, we're going to do from 1 through number 6, and we're going to leave the mouthpiece on and breathe in through the nose, and we'll try to accomplish all these. Now, if you're having a hard time with the fingering, then we can't do it that way. Then you just do one at a time until you're sure of the fingering. So I would say, even at the beginning, depending on where you're at, if you're struggling to stick to the eighth notes, but if we're doing okay with that, we go from 8 notes and we divide this into triplets. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So you can keep basically the same beat and play it in triplets, and that increases your speed. Okay, after we get good at that, we're going to play 6 notes in 1 beat with about the same tempo, and that increases the speed to eventually where we would like to go. 1. Okay, so that's how we want to do this. And for the first week, I will just stick through 1 through 6, and we can stick with all 8 notes. Or if it's easy for you, you can go to the triplets, to divide it into triplets. Or if you get that to that point where you're that good at it, you can do 6 notes in 1 beat. So that's the introduction into the Clarke book. We're going to do all the exercises in the Clarke book eventually. There's going to be a lot to do in that book. We could work on that book for the next 10 years, and it'll become a book that we can go back to all the time to keep us playing well. We're going to eventually start tonguing that book. Then we're going to double tongue it. Then we're going to triple tongue it. And we're going to increase the speed, decrease the speed. It's a great book. One of the best books a trumpet player can ever have. So that's the Clarke book. And I guess we'll move on to the full lesson now, lesson number 4. Let me give you the list of things to do for lesson number 4. Okay, let me try to show you this in a couple of minutes only. Alright, so the first thing we do, like always, is the 6 notes. First note, breath attack, light tongue, breath attack. We do it twice. Once we set the mouthpiece, we do not move it. You play through it twice. Breathe in through the nose. Do not open the mouth and breathe in through the mouth unless you have a cold. Alright, so first we're doing the 6 notes. Second, we're doing the fourths. The first week we did the seconds. Second week we did the third. Then now we're doing the fourths. I think the third week we did the third. Second week we did the seconds. First week we just did the 6 notes. So on the fourths, on the 4th week, it's the interval of the fourth. It's the same. It's the same way that we've been doing it. So if you don't really know how to do it, because following the rules is very important, go back to lesson 1 or lesson 2 and see how we do it. Just a real quick reminder. We tongue the first note, then slurred the rest. It's very important to count, to keep a count. Tap your foot before you start. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we even talked about subdividing 1E, or 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and. Then we got into subdivisions of 4, which was 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a movie and a 2E and a 3 and a 4E and. So go back to lessons, to the first couple lessons, get all the rules. It's very important. But again, we're going to put it on. Once we put it on, we don't move the mouthpiece and we breathe in through the nose. That's that's the fourths. Next thing we're going to do, of course, after the fourths, you're going to need to rest for at least 20 minutes. I forgot just a reminder that you need to rest. Okay, so after the fourths, we're going to do the harmonics. Last week we did, like I told you, when we do the harmonics, we go up. It doesn't matter if we reach the C, the E, the G. It does not matter. So however high you go, that's fine. But you continue always to the end. Open, second finger, first finger. These are the positions. If you don't remember the harmonics, go back to the last lesson. I think it was lesson 3 where we presented the harmonics. And again, once we put the mouthpiece on, we don't take it off. Now the B flat is played open, and that's how the harmonics work. Go back to the last lesson, and there's an explanation for it. So that's the harmonics are next. When you're done with the harmonics, you rest a little bit again. And then we're going to finish up this new lesson with the Clarke book. The Clarke book I explained at the beginning of the lesson. We're going to do 1 through 6. I think that's the best way for you to start. That was lesson number 4. At this point, we're really getting into that Carmine Caruso system. It's going to do a lot for you. So until next time, Ralph Davella here. Looking forward to the next lesson.